Ladies and gentlemen, when I say focus until you're unrecognizable, I'm not talking about changing your face. I'm talking about changing your fate, not just altering what people see, but transforming who you truly are. This is about becoming so focused, so committed, so disciplined, that even your past self wouldn't dare recognize you. You can't focus on what you can't see. You can't chase a future that you haven't first imagined. And you definitely can't become the best version of yourself if you have no idea what that version even looks like. Clarity is the foundation. It's the starting point. Before you do anything else, before you take action, before you sacrifice, before you push through pain, you need to know exactly what you're aiming for. Not just the outer achievements, but the inner transformation. It's not about just buying the house, getting the promotion, or reaching the goal. It's about who you become in the process. And to become unrecognizable, to grow beyond who you are today, you must be able to describe in detail the person you want to become. What does that person think like? What time do they wake up? What do they value? How do they treat others? What habits have they mastered? What weaknesses have they outgrown? Most people never take the time to get this clear. They live day to day, reacting to whatever comes, settling for whatever life throws at them. They drift. But you don't drift into greatness. You decide, you define, you direct. Clarity gives your life shape and your energy structure. Without clarity, every new distraction looks like an opportunity. Every opinion feels like truth. Every failure feels like the end. But when you're clear, you can say no with confidence. You can endure with meaning. You can see the storm, but not lose your direction. You become like a ship with a map. You might get hit with waves, but you'll always find your way back on course. So many people set vague goals. I want to be successful. I want to be rich. I want to be happy. That's not clarity, that's noise. Clarity sounds like this. I want to build a 6-figure online business by serving people with my writing. I want to be the kind of person who wakes up at 5 a.m., trains daily, eats clean, reads 1 book a week, and shows up with integrity no matter what. I want to lead with purpose, live with discipline, and love without fear. That's clear. That's a target. And when you're that specific, your brain starts working in your favor. You start filtering out distractions. You start attracting alignment. The right people, the right ideas, and the right opportunities find you, not because of magic, but because your mind is locked in. Clarity also requires honesty. You can't lie to yourself and expect to evolve. You must be brutally honest about where you are, what's not working, what needs to change. If you're not healthy, say it. If you're lazy, admit it. If you're afraid, confront it. Clarity is not about perfection, it's about precision. You can't fix what you won't face. You can't improve what you won't define. Once you get clear, your energy becomes lethal. You stop wasting time. You stop tolerating things that pull you backward. You stop negotiating with mediocrity. You become ruthless, not with others, but with your excuses. When you're truly clear, people might say you've changed, and they'll be right. You'll start walking different, talking different, thinking different. You'll make decisions they don't understand. You'll stop showing up to places that don't serve your future. And guess what? That's exactly the point. You're not trying to be understood by the old world. You're building a new one. You're not looking for validation. You're creating transformation. That's what clarity does. It separates you from the crowd. It breaks the loop. It lights the fire. If you want to be unrecognizable a year from now, don't just hope. Get clear. Write it down. Speak it daily. Visualize it relentlessly. And then align every thought, every habit, and every decision with that vision. Because the clearer your vision, the stronger your focus. And the stronger your focus, the more unstoppable your transformation becomes. Clarity means nothing without commitment. You can have the most vivid vision in the world, the perfect plan, and the deepest desire. But if you don't commit, truly commit, it's all just a dream. Commitment is what separates the talkers from the doers. It's the line that divides those who try from those who transform. And real commitment isn't based on feelings, hype, or mood. It's a decision you make in advance, and you stand by it, especially when you no longer feel like it. Commitment means declaring to yourself, no matter how long it takes, no matter how many setbacks I face, no matter how uncomfortable or painful it becomes, I'm all in. Not halfway. Not when it's easy. Not only when the results show. all in. It means cutting off the option of retreat. It means burning the bridge behind you so there's only one direction left, forward. Without this level of resolve, you'll always be negotiating with your old self. You'll keep pausing, you'll keep quitting, you'll keep starting over. And every time you do that, you waste time, lose momentum, and reinforce the belief that you can't follow through. People think commitment is passion, but it's not. Passion fades, excitement wears off, motivation dies out. True commitment is born in silence. It shows up on the days when nothing goes right, when you're tired, when you're doubting, when you're lonely, when the results are invisible, when no one claps and nobody believes in you but you. That's when commitment becomes real. That's when it's tested. And if you stay loyal to the process in those moments, that's when growth happens. That's when the change starts building, internally, silently, powerfully. Becoming unrecognizable doesn't happen overnight. You don't wake up one day radically different. It's a daily grind, a battle of choices, a war against comfort. Commitment is what keeps you walking through the fire when everything in you wants to quit. It's saying, I don't care how long this takes, I'm not leaving until I get there. It's not glamorous, but it's the key to transformation. It's the quiet repetition of doing the right thing when no one is watching. It's choosing discipline over dopamine, structure over chaos, long-term growth over short-term ease. You will get tired. You will face resistance. You will feel like giving up. But remember this, the version of you that you're working to become is already on the other side of your commitment. Every time you don't quit, you're getting closer. Every time you show up, even when it hurts, you're shaping yourself into that unrecognizable version. Commitment doesn't mean perfection, it means consistency. It means getting back up every time you fall. It means doing the hard thing today, again tomorrow, and again the day after that, until it becomes who you are. There will be seasons when nothing seems to be working, where it feels like you're stuck in the same place. But commitment says, I keep going anyway. Because deep down you know that the process is changing you, even if the progress isn't visible yet. And when you stay the course long enough and strong enough, one day people will look at you and say, you're not the same person anymore. And they'll be right. Because the real reward of commitment isn't just what you get, it's who you become. So make the choice, right now, right here, to commit. Not just when it's fun, not just when it's fast, but for as long as it takes. Don't flirt with growth, marry it. Don't date discipline, commit to it. Let your life reflect a decision that says, I will not back down. Because once you fully commit, transformation is no longer a question of if, it becomes a matter of when. Transformation isn't a one-time event. It's the product of what you do repeatedly. It's not about the big wins, the loud declarations, or the dramatic moments. It's about what happens when no one is watching. It's about the small daily choices you make over and over that quietly shape your destiny. Most people fail not because they lack talent or opportunity, but because they lack consistency. They're driven by emotion, not commitment. They show up when it's convenient, not when it's necessary. And that's why they stay stuck. If you want to become unrecognizable, you have to outlast your old self. You have to out-discipline your doubts. You must decide that your future matters more than your current comfort. That's what consistency is. Choosing your long-term transformation over your short-term feelings, again and again, every single day. It's brushing your teeth, even when you're tired. It's sticking to your workout, even when you're sore. It's opening your journal when your mind is loud. It's showing up to your mission with or without applause. That's what builds the foundation for greatness. Consistency isn't glamorous. It's not a highlight reel. It's not Instagrammable. It's often boring. It's repetitive. It's quiet. But make no mistake, it's powerful. Because every consistent action you take is a brick laid toward the person you want to become. And over time, those bricks become a fortress. They become your confidence, your character, your strength. You don't become extraordinary by doing extraordinary things once in a while. You become extraordinary by doing ordinary things with extraordinary consistency. You have to be willing to be repetitive, to get up and keep doing the right thing, especially on the days when your emotions try to negotiate with your commitment. Because those are the days that define you. Anyone can work hard for a day. Anyone can be inspired for a week. But consistency asks, can you stay focused for a month? Can you stay disciplined for a year? Can you build a lifestyle around your mission, not just a moment? You won't always feel like it. That's okay. Feelings aren't facts. They're passing waves. And if you let your feelings dictate your effort, you'll live in cycles of starting and stopping, of enthusiasm followed by exhaustion, of hope followed by hopelessness. But when you decide that consistency is a non-negotiable part of who you are, everything changes. You stop starting over. You build momentum. You create internal stability. And with that, real transformation begins. Most people give up when they don't see immediate results. They think slow progress means no progress. But that's a lie. Seeds don't grow the day they're planted. Muscles don't form after one workout. Mastery isn't built in a weekend. The power of consistency is in its compounding nature. What feels small now will feel significant later. The effort you give today might seem invisible, but over time it becomes undeniable. If you keep showing up, the gap between who you are and who you want to be will begin to shrink. And here's the truth. Someone with less talent than you, less intelligence, fewer resources, can still surpass you if they are more consistent. Because consistency beats intensity when intensity can't stay. It's not what you do once that transforms you, it's what you do daily. So stop waiting for perfect conditions. Stop chasing the spark. Focus on the flame. Nurture the routine. Build the habit. Protect the rhythm. The people who win in life are not the most gifted. They're the ones who master the mundane. The ones who learn to love the process more than the praise. The ones who choose to keep going, even when it's hard, even when it's slow. That's the power of consistency. That's the path to becoming unrecognizable. You will need courage to grow, real courage. Not the kind you show when the spotlight is on, but the kind that rises when no one is clapping. When your voice shakes, when your hands tremble, when fear is loud, but your heart still whispers, go. Becoming unrecognizable requires stepping into a version of yourself that's unfamiliar, even to you. And that means doing things you've never done, taking chances you're not sure you're ready for, and walking into rooms where you don't feel qualified. Most people never grow, not because they're incapable, but because they're comfortable. They've made peace with average. They've built a life around what's familiar, even if it's unfulfilling. Why? Because it's safe, predictable. And the human mind craves safety. But growth and comfort cannot coexist. You cannot stay where it's safe and expect to evolve. At some point, you will have to leave the familiar behind. That requires courage, not confidence. Confidence comes after. Courage is what you need first. You will feel fear. That's natural. Fear is not a sign that you're on the wrong path. It's a sign that you're stretching, that you're moving beyond your limits, that you're headed towards something new. The key is not to eliminate fear, it's to move with it, to act in spite of it. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's the decision that something else matters more, that your growth, your purpose, your future is worth walking through the discomfort. You'll be tempted to shrink, to delay, to tell yourself not yet. You'll look around and see people laughing, judging, doubting. You'll wonder what they'll say if you fail, or worse, what they'll think if you succeed. Yes, even success scares people, because it forces them to change their story about who you are. But you cannot live your life to please the opinions of those who aren't invested in your growth. You cannot seek approval and transformation at the same time. Courage is deciding that fear doesn't get to make the final decision. It's choosing to stand up even when your knees are weak, to speak the truth even when your voice shakes, to chase the dream even when the path is unclear. It's showing up to the gym when you feel insecure. It's applying for the job when you think you're underqualified. It's starting the business, moving to the new city, leaving the relationship, setting the boundary, all while fear is whispering, what if? Let it whisper. Let fear talk. You just don't have to listen. You're building something bigger than comfort. You're building character, identity, freedom. And that requires risk. It requires standing in uncertainty and saying, I'll figure it out. It requires failing forward, because failure isn't the enemy, staying stuck is. Every person you admire, every success story you respect, started with fear and moved anyway. They felt it, acknowledged it, and chose courage over comfort. That's what growth demands. Courage is also choosing to outgrow people, to leave behind environments that don't support your future. That's not easy. It's lonely at first. But sometimes courage looks like walking alone until you find your real tribe. Sometimes it means silence, stillness, saying no. Courage is leaving what's good to go after what's great. It's walking away from who you were to become who you were meant to be. Becoming unrecognizable is a courageous act. It means you are willing to trade safety for growth, fear for progress, and judgment for purpose. It means you stop playing small just to keep others comfortable. You rise even if it makes them uncomfortable. You change even if they don't understand. Discipline bridges the gap between setting goals and actually achieving them. Everyone has dreams. Everyone wants to change their life, level up, succeed. But wanting something isn't enough. Wishing doesn't produce results. Discipline does. It's the quiet, unglamorous work behind the scenes that separates those who talk from those who transform. It's not about hype. It's not about motivation. It's about consistency in the face of distraction, fatigue, and temptation. Discipline is the voice that says, "Not today," when excuses come knocking. It's the part of you that chooses long-term vision over short-term pleasure. It's deciding to wake up early even when your body wants to sleep. To hit the gym when no one's watching. To say no to that impulse buy so your future self can be financially free. To keep studying when your mind is tired. To put your phone down and stay focused when every app is calling your name. That's discipline, not flashy, but effective. Most people think discipline is punishment. It's not. Discipline isn't restriction, it's power. It's self-mastery. It's the ability to control your behavior so your circumstances don't control you. When you're undisciplined, your emotions, habits, and impulses run the show. But when you're disciplined, you run the show. You own your life. You don't let a bad mood, a craving, or someone else's opinion dictate your direction. You act from vision, not from feelings. It's not always easy. In fact, discipline often feels like choosing pain in the short term. But that's the secret. It's the kind of pain that leads to freedom. You suffer now so you don't suffer later. Because the pain of discipline weighs ounces, but the pain of regret weighs tons. One missed workout won't ruin you, but a pattern of excuses will. One impulsive decision might feel harmless, but repeated over time, it costs you your progress. That's why discipline matters. It compounds. It builds momentum. True discipline is doing the work, especially when no one is watching. Not for applause, not for praise, but because you made a promise to yourself. And when you're a disciplined person, you keep that promise. You don't negotiate with laziness. You don't allow your mind to convince you that tomorrow is better. You do it now, even when it's uncomfortable, because you respect your future too much to let it down. And here's the beauty of it. Discipline builds character. Every time you choose the hard thing, you're proving to yourself that you can be trusted. You build confidence not by shouting affirmations, but by following through. By doing what you said you'd do. That quiet pride you feel when you push through a tough day, that's real self-respect. And that kind of self-respect, it changes everything. Discipline isn't about being perfect. It's about being persistent. You will slip up. You'll miss days. But discipline means you get back up without letting guilt take over. You recalibrate. You realign. You keep showing up. Over time, those small daily wins, those boring disciplined choices stack up into something incredible. And before you know it, you've become unrecognizable. Not because you got lucky, but because you stayed loyal to the process. People might not see the hours you grind, the temptations you resist, or the sacrifices you make. But one day, they'll see the results. They'll ask how you did it. And you'll smile, knowing the truth. Discipline did what motivation couldn't. It kept you going when no one else clapped. It built the version of you that didn't settle. It became your silent superpower. Because in the end, the most powerful person in the room is not the one with the most talent, the most charm, or the loudest voice. It's the one with the most discipline, the one who does what needs to be done, no matter what. Patience is one of the most underrated superpowers in the journey of transformation. In a world obsessed with speed, instant gratification, and overnight success, patience feels like a lost virtue. But here's the truth. Anything worth becoming takes time. Just like a seed doesn't sprout the moment it's planted, neither will your dreams materialize the moment you decide to change. You may set goals, create a vision, and show up daily, but the visible results will take time. And in that waiting period, most people quit. But patience isn't passive. It's not just sitting around, hoping things happen. Patience is active faith. It's doing your part consistently while trusting that the process is working, even when you don't see immediate outcomes. Just like roots grow underground before a tree breaks the surface, your inner growth happens before the world can recognize it. You are becoming something more, even when it feels like nothing is changing. Impatience is the enemy of progress. It makes you doubt the journey. It makes you question yourself. It whispers lies like, it's not working, you're wasting time, or you should be further by now. But growth doesn't follow your timeline, it follows your discipline, your consistency, and your endurance. Just because you don't see the change yet doesn't mean it's not happening. The results you're chasing are often delayed, not denied. When you're patient, you give your efforts the time to bloom. Think about it. Real transformation isn't about speed, it's about depth. Quick changes are often shallow, but lasting growth, the kind that makes you truly unrecognizable, takes time. It's built in the unseen moments, when you choose the hard path, when you stay committed without validation, and when you keep going without applause. That's where real change takes root. You must also be patient with yourself. You're human. You'll make mistakes. You'll have setbacks. But being hard on yourself doesn't make you grow faster. It just drains your energy. Patience means understanding that you're evolving, and evolution is messy. Some days will feel like progress. Others will feel like you're stuck. But all of it is part of the process. Don't confuse a slow season with a wasted one. Every drop of effort you pour into your goals is like watering a seed. You won't see the fruit on day 1 or day 10. But keep watering, keep nurturing, keep believing. Patience is what allows you to stay in the game long enough to win. The people who reach their goals aren't necessarily the most talented or the most connected. They're the ones who didn't give up too soon. And here's the truth. Patience will stretch you. It will test your character. It will reveal your real reason for starting. Are you doing this for likes, validation, quick results? Or are you doing this because you believe in who you're becoming? When you're truly committed, you're willing to wait as long as it takes, not because it's easy, but because it's worth it. You'll know patience is working when your peace no longer depends on speed. When you stop rushing and start trusting. When you no longer need external results to validate your internal work. That's when you become dangerous, because nothing can shake a person who trusts the process. So, if you're in a season where it feels slow, don't give up. Keep showing up, keep planting. Keep nurturing the habits, the mindset, the vision. Even if the world hasn't noticed your growth yet, don't worry. Growth is invisible before it's undeniable. And when it finally shows, when the results burst through the soil, you'll realize it was worth every second of waiting. Because patience isn't weakness. It's strength under control. It's the quiet power of someone who knows their time is coming and is willing to prepare for it in full faith. Becoming unrecognizable is not about impressing others. It's about outgrowing the version of you that settled, doubted, hesitated, and played small. It's about walking so deeply in your purpose that the old you can no longer survive in your new reality. This journey demands clarity, so you know exactly who you're becoming. There will be days you feel unseen, days you feel like quitting. But remember, the transformation is happening in silence, in struggle, in solitude. One day, you'll wake up and realize you've become someone you used to only imagine. You'll look in the mirror and barely recognize the person staring back. Stronger, wiser, sharper, focused, unstoppable. It demands commitment, so you don't retreat when it gets hard. It demands consistency, so your actions stack up day after day until they become your new identity. It demands courage, so you can walk through fear, not around it. It demands discipline, so you rise above temptations and distractions. And most of all, it demands patience, so you trust the process even when results are slow. So don't stop. Don't settle. Keep going until your results speak louder than your excuses. Focus until you're unrecognizable, not for the world, but for the future you who's waiting on the other side of your potential. Your time is coming. Just stay focused.